Cool. All right. So, yeah, let's get started. Turn that off. All right. Well, I was just thinking of starting with just like a little welcome. So, yeah, welcome for coming, I guess, to our group facilitator meeting. Just kind of like to get the ball rolling. Did anything exciting happen this week? Anything exciting happening this weekend?
Yeah, today there's no school, so I didn't have early morning seminary. So I got to sleep in. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was fun.
This week we had a conference it was part of my internship, and it was a day-long thing. It's a youth action summit where they talked about drugs and alcohol, and they had some different people speaking there, and so it was great to meet the other interns. And then after that, and then today I have part 2 of my internship of counting people for the CEP program for a case study we're doing in the school district. So, and then tomorrow, chili cook-off. Woo!
There you go. What about you, Lauren? Do you have any fun plans for the weekend?
I'm going to Yellowstone tomorrow, so that should be fun.
Oh yeah, that'll be way fun.
Just to get out and about. Huh?
Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been like every semester, typically. But it'll be fun. It'll be nice to just get out.
Sweet. Sounds like we're gonna have fun weekends. I might go see a comedian that's playing on campus, so that should be fun.
Who's that?
His name's Ryan Hamilton. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's got like a thing on Netflix, but he actually graduated from BYU Idaho, and now he does like national tours and everything. So he's pretty good.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, my son's heard of him, but I haven't.
Sounds like fun.
Cool. So, like, obviously, we're here, and the idea of the support groups is to help and support each other. And I feel like the best way that we can do that for each other is to obviously listen and hear each other out, like on their concerns. And obviously, I'm not interrupting people. So if like you feel like you need to say something, just wait till the next person's done, or like raise your hand or something. I know y'all are kind of small up there, but we'll be able to see your hand. So yeah, and obviously just keep in mind the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. So I was just thinking, we've talked a little bit, but I want to like get to know you a little bit better. So we're just going to do like a short introduction for each of us, and we're just going to say our favorite food, our favorite thing to do in our free time, and our favorite color. And I'll go first. So my favorite food, I like steak or a really good burger with some fries. And what I like doing in my free time is eating good food. So they kind of play off each other there. And I would say my favorite color is blue. So maybe we'll go Julie, Monique, and then Lauren.
Favorite food? I really don't have a favorite food. Just as long as my kids eat it, I'm good with that. But I do like to have a nice lobster or crab once in a while. Free time. What free time? Because I'm busy going to school. I have kids. But I do like to binge Netflix or Amazon if I have time, or read a book. And favorite color is purple.
Cool. All right. What about you, Monique?
Let's see. Favorite foods. I like street tacos. Yeah, I like flavorful food. If I had some free time, I'd probably like to just read a book, just for fun. Like I read all the time, but just for fun. And my favorite color, probably like sunset colors. Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Yeah. That's about it.
Cool. All
That's
right.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite food would probably be, I just like Mexican food in general. I just really like Mexican food. Tostadas, something like that. When I like to do my free time, I like to play soccer. And then, what was the last question?
Favorite color.
Favorite color? Oh, purple. I like purple.
Purple.
Awesome. So now that we know each other a little bit better, I was just thinking of kind of like, I guess we're pretending we have diabetes, I guess. Or I don't know if any of you do have diabetes and know some of those struggles, but like it definitely affects a lot of the aspects of your life. And when looking at like physical health, it obviously affects your physical health. It affects like your mental health in some ways, and it affects basically all aspects of your life. But I wanted to focus a little bit more on the mental health side of having diabetes. And as far as like the struggles that come with diabetes goes, has anybody had like a particularly hard week this week, or had a hard time recently? And if so, what made it hard? And if not, what made your experiences good recently?
I think diabetes makes every week hard because it makes you tired all the time.
Yeah, it does make you tired all the time. What do you think, Lauren?
I'd go along with Monique, like the tiredness. I think just like wishing you didn't have it, kind of getting down on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why me?
Yeah, and I was actually going to go into that that whole thought of like, why me? Like, why do I have to go through this? Why was I kind of chosen, I guess, to have this struggle in my life? Have any of you ever felt that way?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Or
I feel like, how do I get rid of it? Yeah. I don't want to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
So have you been having a hard time with that recently, Lauren? Just asking like, why me?
Yeah, just like why? Like, I don't know. It's like hard to explain, like the whole why me kind of thing. It gets you don't know how to get rid of it.
So Julie, what's something that you can say right now that would help Lauren?
It gets better. Just try doing your best every day. And sometimes the bad things aren't so big in life. And just be careful be watching what you eat, because diabetes is, you have to watch what you eat, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of what you're putting in your body. That way you're not so tired. And also just do your best.
That's good advice. Do you
I
feel
think going along. Oh God, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
So I was just gonna say, I think going along with like thinking about why me is kind of like, well, why do I have diabetes? They're trying to figure out like, well, what causes it? What is there anything that I did or do that causes it? Then maybe you can figure out things that you could change, or if you can reverse that, or just helps you have more ideas.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comments. Do you feel like that helps, Lauren, when you kind of think of why me? Do those thoughts help at all?
I think so. I think sometimes changing your your thought process is what, with anything in life, changing your thought process. And I think it helps that, like, let's say we all go to this church school, we all have some type of support, so kind of helps you redirect your thoughts.
That's good. And honestly, like with just with anything in life, with any medical struggles, emotional struggles, mental struggles, a lot of the time it can just a change of mindset and the way you kind of view the situation can definitely help and have an actual positive effect on your health, not just like your mental or emotional health, but all aspects of your health. Does anybody have any other thoughts so far in the meeting that they want to share?
I think there's a lot of information out there that is sometimes conflicting, and so it's hard to know. Like there's like all these dozens of different recommendations: eat like this, eat like that, eat like this, and it's pretty hard to know what is really, valid. And like, if everybody's bodies are kind of different, so what really works for your body? I think it gets to be pretty confusing.
Yeah, it definitely can be confusing. I don't know. What do you think, Julie and Lauren? Are there resources that you've found that you usually like continually go back to help you with those struggles of like finding what to eat, just lifestyle choices? What do you think?
My best bet would just be like a doctor at the end of the day, and then like trial and error of what people recommend, because like Monique said, it's a lot of like your body type's different, like what works for you it's gonna change. So probably just what your doctor says, and then whatever trial and error you've done.
Yeah. What about you, Julie?
I would definitely listen to what the doctor says, but also with the trial and error too, because everybody's different. Everyone's how they deal with different food in their body, and if they don't get enough exercise, so it all plays a part into them.
Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like Lauren, you mentioned like trial and error. I mean like that's definitely with kind of like what works with your body, but it also, you have to like trial and error with like a doctor too, because sometimes the doctor doesn't jive with kind of like the way you view things. So trying a couple different doctors out could definitely help in just any situation. Do you feel like that kind of helped with your thoughts, Monique?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I like the idea that you sometimes need to try different doctors, because it's true. Sometimes, like I kind of like to eat or focus naturally before medicine, do like what I can before taking medicine. And sometimes doctors just want to give you, here, take this pill, and they don't really think about food. So, I mean, I just think that's a good idea, because then you need to feel comfortable with your doctor. Otherwise, you won't want to go. Then that might not be helpful either.
That's true. And I mean, there's so many resources out there, like books written by doctors that kind of have that holistic approach that you're probably looking for. So maybe this week we can look for some of those resources, and we can come back and share those with each other when we meet next time. So it looks like we got just about 1 minute left before we got to close. But does anybody have any last thoughts? All right. So yeah, thank you again for coming. And I thought this was really helpful for me, and I hope you guys felt some support from each other. And thank you for listening to each other.
Yeah. All right. See you next time.
Okay.
See you next time. 5 seconds.
Okay, that was kind of hard. I couldn't think of things to say to monopolize. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm starting right next.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So welcome everybody to our group today. Hopefully it looks like everybody's here that's probably coming. So since this is our first group, just thought it'd be fun to kind of get to know each other a little bit. And so I would like to go around and have everybody state their name and where you live. And since Thanksgiving's coming up next month, maybe you could share like a favorite tradition or something that you like about Thanksgiving. So let's just go ahead and start with Jared.
All right. I'm Jared. I am from Elk Ridge, Utah, but I'm in Rexburg, Idaho right now for school. My favorite Thanksgiving tradition is probably the nap after I eat all the food. That's the best part of Thanksgiving.
Nice. I like it. And then I think the next gal, I'm not sure if I met you before. Is it Julie? Is that your right?
Yes, it's Julie.
Yeah.
I'm in Citrus Heights, California, which is pretty close to Sacramento, and we're really close to Roseville. So if you know those two cities, that's where we are. And my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is getting together with my family and having all the cousins get together and hang out. But with online school, we usually have homework that week, so it's not really a break for us. I'm usually doing homework that week. So for online students, I really don't enjoy Thanksgiving because it's not fair. Hey,
I know you're always having to sneak off into the back room to do homework, right? While everyone's.
Yeah. So I usually like it, but not with school. Because the students get the break, but we don't. So that's not fair.
Well, what about you, Lauren? Do you do online school or anything like that?
So I do like online half the time, and then when I'm back in Rexburg, I go to class. So when I'm home, I do online. It's kind of, I get the best of both worlds sometimes, or the worst. but yeah. So my name's Lauren, and then what were the other questions?
Where you live and something about Thanksgiving, a tradition or something you like.
So I am from Washington, but right now I'm in Rexburg. And something that I really like for Thanksgiving, my family gets a tree really early, so we get the tree like after Thanksgiving, the Christmas tree, and so that's something I really like. And we started doing that when I went to college because I only get a certain amount of time that I'm home for a little bit, and so it's probably my favorite thing. I like to still cut down on our Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's nice. We kind of did a Thanksgiving tradition like that on Saturday after Thanksgiving. We would decorate. Yeah.
It's holidays real quick.
Yeah. So Jared, I wondered, you live in Elk Ridge. Was your home at risk with those fires this summer down there?
Yeah, thanks for asking. It was at risk, but my parents' house is actually pretty low in Elk Ridge because if you've ever been to Elk Ridge, it's kind of like on the foot of the mountain, and as you go higher up, there's more trees. But as you get lower down, it's pretty condensed with houses. So my house wasn't really much at risk because it was really low, and it would have had to go through a lot of structures to get to our house. But a lot of my friends that I had in Elk Ridge, they're like really up in the trees, and so they were pretty scared for their houses just because the fire was coming so close. But no structures were lost, and but thanks for asking. They were evacuated for like a week and a half, I think, or 2 weeks almost. So it was a long time, just up and leaving for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that is definitely a disruption in life for sure.
Yeah.
So I just wanted so this is our first meeting. So our goal for today is I'd like for each participant to be able to go home with at least one idea of something that you can do that will help you deal with your diabetes better. If any aspect, just at least one idea that you can go home with to try and implement and work on. And so I'd encourage you, as we're sitting here, to take notes. I have pen and pencil over there on the table if anybody didn't bring any. But, write down any thoughts or ideas that come to your mind so that, you can remember them, when you get home and stuff. So let's start by sharing some challenges that diabetes creates for you. Let's start with Lauren. Lauren, can you share just something that might be a challenge that diabetes is for you?
I think having to redo a lifestyle. I found out.
Okay, change your lifestyle.
You have to change. I went from being.
Yeah. No, I just said I wasn't sure if you were you were done. So, what are there any specific aspects of changing your lifestyle that are harder than others? Like, what is the hardest part?
Probably watching what I eat. I don't do the best
Yeah.
watching what I eat.
Does it affect it affects your cooking, your shopping, all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. How about Julie?
Just making sure I'm reading the boxes when I'm shopping for food. Reading everything that's inside the boxes. That way, I'm aware of what I'm putting in my body.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And that takes time, doesn't it?
It does.
So that's probably part of a challenge at the time that takes. How about you, Jared? What's a challenge that you have found?
Well, for me, I don't know about any of y'all, but I actually have type 2 diabetes, so I was diagnosed a little bit later. It wasn't just kind of like put on me. It was something I kind of did to myself. And it's been really hard because all my life I've grown up eating, just like constantly eating. I never really took breaks. I always had snacks. And obviously I didn't realize the effect that had on my body. Not giving my body a break to let my glucose levels and all those levels go down. And it's just been a really hard lifestyle change, kind of like what Lauren was saying. Just having to change my whole life and all these foods and all the candy that I always loved. I have to limit myself a whole lot more. And it's just really hard to readjust that way and to not live the way I was before. I feel like that's one of those things for me.
That is a big challenge, and I think that's a challenge that a lot of people have, because any change that we make, right, involves work. And so it sounds like we have a common thing that's kind of related to the foods we eat and how we shop for those foods, or looking at labels, planning. What are some ideas that you have on how you can deal with that? Like, change takes work. We talked about habits, time, eating differently. What are some changes, or what are some things, some ideas that you have that might help with those things that we can share with each other? Lauren, are there any things that you've tried that have been helpful to you?
I would say something that's helped me with just like overall would probably be exercise. That was something I really enjoyed and everything like that. And so I think just figuring out ways to exercise, but ways that would be beneficial for me with like diabetes and stuff like that.
Right. So you already exercise, but you've tried to rely on that more?
Mm-hmm. And just like
Nice.
finding certain exercises or like just certain programs that maybe be better for someone.
Yeah. What kind of programs have you tried? Or what's your favorite?
So something that I like to go to the gym, like 24, and 24 has a weight training program, and I thought it'd be fun to take that because you need muscle and you need to be able to keep your like sugar and your blood all good. So
Cool. Nice. Julie, how about you? What things have you been able to do that help you with these changes in lifestyle? Food?
I make sure I take a daily walk just to make
Okay.
sure I'm that walking helps clear my head, but also helps keep me exercising.
Nice. Is that a habit that you've started after you found out you had diabetes, or is it a habit you already had and you continue it, or?
It was a habit I had already had.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing it because of the diabetes.
Yeah. So now you have a stronger focus on to continue that good habit, right?
Yep.
That sounds great. Jared, what kinds of things have you found are helpful to you?
To me, I haven't, I mean, like ever since being diagnosed, I've tried to do a little bit more exercise, but it's been kind of hard for me to get to that point where it's become a kind of a routine thing for me. Um, I don't know, that's just been kind of hard because I've filled my time with a lot of other activities like school and things that are good, that I feel like are benefiting my life, but now it's kind of hard for me to make room for that exercise, kind of like what Julie and Lauren were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
So as you go through school, you mentioned that you are at school. I'll bet that if you evaluate or look back through your day, you probably find sometimes that you do go walking, right? You walk to campus, or do you drive?
I live pretty close, so I walk.
So you walk. That's great. You're already walking. And so I'm guessing you walk from class to class because you obviously don't drive from building to building,
Yeah, I guess
right?
that's true.
So I think sometimes we maybe can build on some things that we can see, find things that we already are doing, maybe build on and expand on that. So Lauren was already exercising, and she's just doing that, kind of focusing on that more to make it kind of a cemented part of her life. And sounds like Julie, you do the same thing, and you already are walking. You guys have some ideas you could share with each other on how you continue or start those changes when you feel like it's really hard. So we've talked about exercise, and there are things it sounds like we all do some exercise. And we talked about food, changing food and what we eat. Let's look at the food part a little bit more that we started out with. What are some habits that you can look at in yourself, if everybody could share a habit that you already have that you know is good for you? Whoever wants to go first, you guys share.
Just watching what I'm eating.
Okay.
I think for
You
me,
mentioned that you read labels.
Yeah. So
Make sure. What are you watching for when you look at labels?
just making sure it doesn't have a lot of salt in it.
Salt. Okay. Yeah. Great.
I think for
Anybody
me,
else?
something that it's not really something that I do, but my mom always kind of made me eat healthy when I was growing up. So I guess I kind of had some sort of a healthy diet growing up, but I think it was just my own choices that kind of brought me down and kind of did this to me. So.
Right. So what difference did you notice in the ways your mom prepared food, the foods you ate with your mom cooking and versus the foods that you eat on your own? Can you tell a difference?
Looking back, I definitely could. Like in high school, I was always just, I don't know, teenage boy. I just wanted the sweetest, saltiest thing you could give me. Whereas my mom, she always had, instead of white bread or like white flour, she always had wheat flour. And instead of like putting the right amount of sugar in a recipe, she would like half of it. And she definitely has a healthy approach to most things when compared to how I look at things.
Yeah. Yes, I can picture that because I do that with my kids and they're always teasing me. Oh, mom's healthy stuff again. Maybe they'll appreciate it later, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yep. So, are there any of those ideas that your mom uses that would be pretty easy for you to do now? Like if you buy white bread when you go to the store, you already do go to the store, so it doesn't take more time, but you just pick the wheat bread off the shelf instead of maybe
Yeah.
that might be pretty easy. I would, might be a pretty easy. There's probably little things that would be. Lauren, what things have helped you with changes?
I think cooking more at home is better. It's like a better option, and just like in that moment, I'm able to see what exactly I'm putting into my body. Like I can see, like I can make more things at home. So then it's like, oh, I can substitute certain ingredients to make it more healthy.
Nice, yeah. That's true. When you cook your own food, it's all up to you. You get to choose everything. And you get to leave out all the things that you don't want that are bad for you. Yeah. All right. So I think we probably have a few minutes left. What are some things that you, in contemplating all the things we've talked about, let's share some ideas that maybe we think we could work on in this coming 2 weeks until we meet again, and when we could share, what we tried and how it went for us. What's kind of a goal or something that I want you to just take a minute and think about what you want to work on this next 2 weeks. So take just a second to think about that, and then let's share those ideas. And if we have any concerns about how we're going to reach that goal, we can share some ideas on things that might be helpful to each other. And write down your goal, because that's important for you to be able to reach your goal. Julie, do you have something in mind?
Just keep watching what I eat and exercising. Just keep doing that because that seems to be working for me. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Great goal. Great goal. Okay, how about Lauren or Jared?
I'm sticking to cooking at home more, just being more aware of the foods that are in my body.
That's a great goal. We want to hear what you cook.
Okay.
Maybe you can bring a favorite recipe that's healthy for next time. That'd be fun. Okay, Jared, anything? What goal are you thinking about?
So just kind of along the same lines as Julie is just, I want to increase my activity level and just see if that helps me in the next couple weeks.
Cool. So what are you going to do to increase your activity level?
I think something that, again, I think Julie's just habit of walking every day. Because I know I walk to class and I walk in between classes, but walking every single day for like a good amount of time consistently, I feel like that might have a positive impact on my health.
Cool. So where are you planning on walking? Do you have a good bike or walking path near you, or?
Yeah, I've got the park right next to me, so I could just go walk there.
Great. Okay. So when you walk, do you think, or do you look at things around you? Do you watch for wildlife? Do you people watch? What do you do what are you going to do while you're walking?
People watch. That's a good way to put it.
All right. Well, let's share some adventures that we have as we keep these goals this week. And then next time we meet, I'd love to hear from your experiences, and we can see what we can do to help each other continue on. I think you guys have some great goals, and this will be a good things to work on. So is there anything else, any other concerns that you would like to bring up or get help with today? Anybody? Okay. All right. Let's do this. We'll see you next time. Cut.
Okay.
The
Hi.
end.
Welcome to today's meeting. I just want to let you know that this is a safe space, and that anything you say here is confidential. It's not going to leave this room. It's just between everyone here. So no one's going to go off talking to anyone else. So this is a safe meeting place to talk about diabetes. But since this is our first meeting, we don't know who you are. I have some questions for you guys to answer. Your name, your favorite TV show, your favorite class you've taken so far at BYU Idaho, and whether or not you're doing an internship, and what are you doing in that internship. So, Lauren,
All right.
want to start?
So my name's Lauren. I am actually doing an internship. My internship is working with adults with disabilities. I really enjoy it. My favorite class that I've taken at BYU Idaho, I took a, what is it called? Developmental psychology class, and I found it to be really interesting. And it's my favorite class. What was it? What was the other one?
TV show.
Oh, TV show. I love, right now I'm watching, what is it called? Riverdale. So I think it's pretty fun. I like that.
That's fine. Jared?
My name's Jared. For my internship, I actually have already completed it. I did my internship at a place called Journeys here in Rexburg. And it was actually a really good experience. They're a developmental disability agency, so they help I worked with like the kids side of the things. There's like an adult side and a kids side, and I worked with the kids side, and they just help kids with autism and Down syndrome or like whatever disability that they have. They just kind of help them develop skills to be, I guess, just more like a little bit more like normal kids. And so that was a really good experience. My favorite TV show, I really like The Office. And
That's a good show.
yeah, I like that a lot. Was that all the questions?
That's all the questions.
Awesome.
Monique?
Okay, my name is Monique. Let's see. I don't get to watch TV very much, but right now all I have are husband and my sons at home. So if we watch together, we watch action shows. But when I watch by myself what I want to watch, sometimes I really like it's a BBC show, and it's called Call the Midwife. And they just solve kind of just people issues that happen in like real life situations. It's a cool show. My favorite class, probably all-time favorite classes were years and years ago when I took a paramedic program at Ricks College. We had a search and rescue class every Friday at noon. Sometimes it went till midnight, sometimes it went overnight, but we did search and rescue scenarios. We did whitewater rescue, we did ice cave rescue. If any of you have explored ice caves outside of Rexburg, there's one that has this little deep funnel thing. Anyway, we did, so that was a pretty memorable class. And my internship, that is the only thing I have left after this class, and I am still trying to figure out where I'm going to do that and get that set up. So if y'all have any good ideas, I'll take them. But I'm in Boise, not Rexburg, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm Julie, facilitating. My favorite TV show right now is The Good Place. My kids and I have been binging it. So we're only on second season, but I started recording the third season, so we'll watch this later. My favorite class so far, it was actually my toughest class, but I like the program planning class because I learned a lot, and actually I saw it being mentioned at my conference that I went to in regards to my internship. So my internship, since I really didn't have much help with BYU Idaho to find my internship, I actually found mine working through the school district. And so I do prevention, which is talking to teens about drug and alcohol abuse. And that's been really informative and fun to get to know the kids, but also get to talk about those issues that come up. And then I'm also doing nutrition, which we're doing a CEP study within the school district because CEP is a part of the program where usually when kids come up to the at lunchtime, they used to give their ID, but with the CEP program, the lunch lady just presses a cash register sign. So it's a little bit different in regards to paperwork and the kids. So it's been a learning experience with me and my internship so far. So, but with the diabetes, how do you manage your day when you do have diabetes? Anyone? How do you manage your day?
I would say that I actually pay attention to my day. Like I have to keep notes in a sense and just focus on what I'm doing throughout the day to make sure that I'm keeping on track. Whereas before I was diagnosed, it was like, oh, you could do whatever you wanted. You know, I didn't focus. I was just like, oh, what about whatever.
But how do you keep the notes throughout the day?
I have like a journal and I just write down
That's
stuff,
good.
like what I'm eating, what I'm doing, just to make sure that I'm not overdoing it.
Okay. Jared?
I don't like physically do anything. I just kind of keep it in my head, and I've kind of established a routine. Yeah, and I just kind of follow it in my head.
Okay. Monique?
I don't know. I guess in the morning, first thing, I check my blood sugar to see what it is overnight.
Okay. Well, that's a good way. So how do you keep positive with the diabetes? Monique?
I'm not sure what you mean.
How do you, even though you have a disease, how do you keep positive? How do you keep a positive outlook with it?
Well, I like to read my scriptures and pray. That just helps me with everything in
Okay.
the day.
Jared?
I think for me, I kind of keep a spiritual thing. So I don't know. To me, everything happens for a reason. So even though this is kind of an extra struggle that I have, I look at it as a way that I can learn and come closer to God through it. So that's one way that I kind of keep myself positive when I'm going through hard times.
Okay. Lauren?
I would say some days are better than others at being positive, more positive. Something that I try to do is I have a quote board. I'm just like, that's my thing. I wake up, I see it, and it's like, okay, let's be positive. But it helps with like all aspects of life, not just like because I try to just be like, all right, with everything I do, let's just try and be positive.
Okay, thank you. Well, since we're nearing up on time, I'm going to cut it a little bit short and save some time for our next facilitator. But I want to thank you guys for all coming here, and just remember that this is a safe space, and that everything you said here is confidential. It's not going to leave the video. Unfortunately, our teacher's going to see it, but hey. But this is a confidential meeting, and just remember to keep a positive outlook, and you can text me or call me if you have any problems this week, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me better?
Still a little quiet.
A little bit.
My voice is kind of like in and out, so I'm like,
Yeah, we could hear you before, but during this last time when you spoke, it was very quiet.
it might have been muffled. I'm like sitting on a bed. So.
Oh, see, now it's better.
Okay. Good. Okay. Well, let's see. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Fine.
Okay, so since this is our first meeting, I would like to kind of start off with a small introduction. We'll kind of do our name, our favorite animal, and like what one word best describes you. And so if Monique, you would like to start off with us.
Okay. Okay, my name is Monique, and my favorite animal is it's kind of a toss-up between an eagle or a cougar. Yeah. And let's see. What was the second one again?
One word that best describes you.
Oh, one word. Inquisitive. I like to learn.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, would you like to go next?
My favorite animal, I would say it's, I don't know why, but I've always liked turtles. Never had a pet turtle, but I just think turtles are cool that they can take their house with them wherever they go. That's pretty cool. And one word that describes me, I would say relaxed.
All right, Julie.
I would say my favorite animal's a lion. I've always liked lions. And my word would be busy. Busy. Busy would be my word.
So my name's Lauren. I also love it, lions. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. If I could have a pet, it'd be a lion, but I can't. One word that best describes me is, I would say, laughter. I love to laugh. If I can just smile and laugh all day, that'd be perfect. That'd be my best time. But to kind of start off this meeting, I was just really wanting to focus on the physical aspects of diabetes and what we can do to maybe like improve that, as well as who we can turn to for support and like if we have a support system. So to kind of start it off, I have a question. So who do you guys currently turn to for support if you have support? And if you don't, maybe you can figure out ways to improve that. So does anybody want to start off?
I'll share. I turn to like God and to my family.
And how has that helped you with being diagnosed?
Well, just encouragement, feeling like, okay, I can handle this kind of thing. Yeah.
How about you, Jared?
I have a cousin that has diabetes, so that kind of helps me a little bit, because if I have any questions about anything, I can always bounce ideas off of him. And yeah, I feel like that's a really good support resource that I have.
I like it. Thank you. How about you, Julie?
I guess for my husband and my kids help out. So, and then I pray a lot. So that's how I get my support.
That's awesome. I really like that. I think it's so important that we have support in our lives. And so if there's like, what's amazing about these support groups is it's like another extra bonus of support. So if you guys ever feel like you want to communicate or talk, you can just swap numbers or keep coming to these meetings. So it's amazing that we are able to come together like this. Something else that I think is also important is the physical aspect of understanding like ways that we can help our body and improve. And so have any of you established anything like exercise or eating right that you've seen improve in your life? Have you established any of those? Monique?
I try, I'm trying to eat like more whole grains and eat less sugar. Or like if I make treats or things, like I try to add things. Like here's a simple thing. If I make brownies from a box, I always add an extra egg. That's extra protein, and whole grain, like a couple tablespoons of whole grain flour or flax meal. And anyway, like I just do things like, so those brownies still have sugar, but I've added something to it, and it just kind of improves it a little bit. And my kids can't tell. So sometimes they're little things, and sometimes bigger things, like just try not to eat sugar at all. That's hard.
Along with your brownie comment, have you ever heard of like avocado brownies, where they like make it brownies with avocado? That's kind of cool.
I haven't, but I have had chocolate avocado pudding.
I've never had that.
Which is pretty interesting, and it's like tastes like chocolate pudding, and it's just doesn't taste like avocado, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool. How about you, Jared?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the exercise aspect of me kind of helps me keep a handle on things. But I don't know. I'm kind of lost. That's why I'm here. I want to get help from you guys to, I don't know, just get ideas of how I can better manage this. So yeah, I'm mainly here just to kind of get your ideas and get your help.
Do any of you guys have any advice or support that you feel you could share with Jared? Maybe ways that he can keep going?
Jared, do you? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Julie.
I was just going to say maybe talking to your doctor a little bit more to find out what suggestions he has. And then maybe talking to a nutritionist, and maybe they can help you with living day by day.
Okay. Is there
Jared, do you?
Nutritionist?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Is there a certain nutritionist that you like going to?
It all depends upon your health plan. Sorry. And maybe your doctor can recommend someone within the health plan too, because everything's sort of with your health plan.
True.
What were you saying,
Jared?
Monique?
Oh, I was just going to ask Jared if you, I'm trying to remember what, I'll think of it. You were saying, oh, you were mentioning that you wanted to get ideas. And so I was just wondering, like, are you looking for ideas about like exercise, or like we already talked about, like clinical people to get help from, but are you looking for ideas about like exercise or food or cooking or like emotional support, or what kind of ideas are you looking for?
Yeah, really just anything that you guys feel have helped you just in your journey with diabetes.
Because I like to share and get recipes from other people that are trying to do the same thing, you know, like, so we'll like, oh, hey, I found this recipe, and we'll just email each other, or, you know, it's kind of nice that way because somebody's already tried it and they can tell you, yeah, this recipe is yummy. So you don't like waste time making something that tastes gross. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to get together after and share some recipes.
It's pretty cool. Monique, with that group, is it like a Facebook group, or is it like a group with people that you've met and they also have diabetes? Have you met them?
Well, my daughter, she gets low blood sugar and she just had a baby, so she's trying to lose weight. So some of her goals are similar to what my goals are, and like, so we'll email each other recipes that are healthy, just trying to eat healthy. And there's a couple ladies in our ward who eat gluten-free, and they also try to eat really healthy. So sometimes they'll share recipes, and I just kind of grab, you know, use the ones that are relevant to what I'm trying to do. So it's not like an established group. It's just like I have friends or people like that I swap recipes with. Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I think that's really amazing. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool that you were able to find people. Well, I hate to have to cut this meeting short, but I really hope that hopefully all of you guys have felt support and love, and that we are a family. So if there's anything you guys need, feel free to reach out to me or people within the meeting. But I really appreciate you guys coming, and I hope we can continue to meet together.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.